Hello, beautiful people. Viv going live from York, like normal. So I thought I had to do something a bit crazy because it's the 4th of the 3rd in the year 21. So I should have gone live at 5. So it could have been 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, but I didn't. So I'm live at 9, like normal. And I wanted to talk about, I know I get into this quite a lot, that I'd like people to really appreciate who they are and to celebrate their unique gifts and stuff. And that's pretty much what my work is as a shamanic practitioner and an essential oil person. I basically want everybody to feel that they are essentially themselves and can be that to the best of their ability, which is why my company is called Essentially Shamanic, because that's how I feel. But I want people to be essentially themselves, however that is. And obviously there's a play on words with essential oils and everything like that, and the fact that you can be essentially something. But also I thought I'd talk today about why I get sort of interested in different ways things work, etc. So I was diagnosed as dyslexic in my 3rd year at my first university. It was just before my exams, which was a bit bad timing because I could have got some extra support if they'd found out earlier. But it explains a lot about stuff. But as usual, seen as a kid, I was regularly mistaken for a boy. And stuff like that. I had dyslexia in a very odd way, so I don't have trouble with reading or writing. Particularly, I have a very big short-term memory issue, so that's how my dyslexia sort of shows itself, which just shows you again, dyslexia is a spectrum disorder, much like the autism spectrum, etc. And is just the way it works for me. I'm a bit odd, so there you go. Also goes along with other things, so I have issues with sleeping and other stuff which comes from being neurodiverse like that. So I've got a bit of an obsession with alliteration, acronyms, palindromes, so I love that sort of symmetry. I really like puzzles. Now I don't know if that's to do with my dyslexia or if that's just the way my brain works. There has been some suggestion that I'm probably on the autism spectrum, but I'm never going to get it diagnosed because I'm Viv. Hello everyone, I'm Viv. I'm just the way I am. My brain works the way it works. But I just wanted to sort of put out there that when you've got things like a short-term memory issue, like the reason I don't practice my lives or usually have notes written down unless I'm giving you facts and I want them to be true, is I'm pretty much just winging it. Because if I made notes, I would then be worried that I'm going to forget. I'd be sitting here going, so what did I want to tell them? I've got it written down, and then you'd be listening to me reading stuff from that, and you're not going to get the true flavour of who I am. So again, I don't do things the way you're supposed to. I don't get my lighting right sometimes. I don't write things down, so I forget what I'm going to talk about. And it's basically you're getting what's coming out of my brain, because my short-term memory issue means that if I really wanted to practice, I'd have to practice. So I can't be one of those who thinks about what I'm going to say and then it's still in my short-term memory, because I don't really have one. I'd have to practice, put it in my long-term memory, and then I'd be able to tell you. So that's why I use things like acronyms and alliteration, because it helps me remember stuff. And I love knowing facts. I love having knowledge at my fingertips. And obviously I really struggle with that because of the way my brain works. So I just thought I'd give you some examples. So I have a real thing about numbers. I was really good at maths at school, really wasn't good at English, probably because of my dyslexia, because I would read something and promptly forget it. But for some reason, numbers really sit with me. And obviously, if I link that to acronyms and stuff like that, that really works. So I just wanted to share some of the things that my brain does in case, firstly, anybody resonates, but also to show you that bringing some of your quirks and some of your unique traits into the way you do things and sharing that with other people could actually be helpful. So I've learned quite a few things from the way other people's brains work, where I've gone, oh, that's really interesting. And I've been able to take that on board. And I'm wondering whether people would do the same with me. So one of my shamanic things that I do is called guided pictures in the stone, but I specifically called it that so that I could call it GPS, and it's a way of helping somebody if they come across a roadblock in their life, whether in business or in their life, they can come and have a GPS session and they can find their way around that roadblock. So I find ways where what I'm trying to explain to people Like if you did an elevator pitch, I'm going to really struggle with that again unless I practice, because I don't pretend easily remember things. But I can easily remember that because I've called it something that sticks in my brain. The same with a lot of the work I do is sort of spiritual energy work, and I love the idea that a lot of the guided sessions I do is helping you be spiritually and energetically optimized. So again, because I'm a geek and I come from an IT background, that's SEO, which is a much better search engine optimization, a soul engine or energy optimization. So I'm just giving you some of the ideas of the way, firstly, my brain works, which is in itself exceptionally quirky. And secondly, just ideas of ways to help you remember things, or if you're trying to explain to people what you do, maybe being able to pick some of those things up. So I do a lot of things around the directions north, south, east and west, and how they link to the chakras, and how the chakras link to the days of the week, and the oils you can use for the days of the week to help you with like creativity and setting up a system that could help you with getting things done or stuff like that. And so I'm linking all that stuff together because that not only helps me, but I'm hoping it would also help other people. But the main reason I do this is because I like the fact that everybody should tap into their own authenticity and their own autonomy. So the way I home educated my children is autonomous education. They basically learnt through living and through their passions. And I think this is one of the things that I've struggled with, having been somebody who went to school and was undiagnosed dyslexic, so I did struggle at school. I still came out with all the things I needed to, but I have spent a lot of time trying to sort of unpack the things that I was taught at school, i.e. that we all have to sort of be the same, we all have to learn the same things, we all have to learn the same things in the same way, to then unpack that and realise that actually we're all totally different and we all learn in different ways, and actually that finding your passion means sort of getting rid of some of those things that you've had put on you from school, to then find your way to what is my thing, what do I enjoy, why do I enjoy it, and also then accept that, you know, I'm obsessed with the symmetry of things. So a lot of my programs are like my shamanic healing session is £111 because I like the symmetry of it. I like the power. I feel that the power in that sort of having the same numbers, or at least it being palindromic. It's nice that I'm called Viv because obviously that's palindromic. And that bringing those sorts of quirky things that maybe you haven't thought of since being at school, or since unpacking as you become an adult and you start looking at the ways you want to communicate with people and what you want to show to people, then unpacking some of those quirks I think is really important, because it puts your stamp on who you are and your stamp on how you want to convey yourself to the world. So I just thought I'd share some of that because I've been looking at some of the crazy things I do. I did actually write some of them down. So I've linked the directions to the elements like earth, air, fire, water is really big to my shamanic practice, bringing all that power in from the natural environment. You'll know that I do essential oils. I'm really into using ethically sourced stuff, so that's really important to me. But the power of nature is also something that's really important in shamanic work. But obviously we live in a very different culture over here, so tapping into things that are pure and natural from the natural world is really important. Finding things that can tap into the different things in people, so we're all different. So I like a company that has over 60 essential oil blends and single oils, so that if somebody comes to me and goes, what would you use for headaches? I'd start with peppermint, but obviously everybody's body chemistry is different, so you might have to then choose something different if that's not working for them. So it's just sort of bringing all that different stuff together. Like, I'm really into people being their authentic, amazing, autonomous, fantastic selves. That's really important to me. And obviously I hope that that comes through with the work that I do, but also that I bring my own personality to that, so that you can see, I know I'm beginning to unpack and know what my personality is, and I'd really like to help other people realise how amazing and awesome they are, regardless of what they think about themselves. So I just thought I'd share all the quirky things that normally are going through my brain. You might have seen, if you've gone on my website, you'll have seen that I've slightly updated it recently because of my alliteration thing going on at the moment. So my tagline is now be the hero of your health, the sovereign of your soul, and the emperor of your emotions, and the boss of your body. So I'm bringing in again the elements and the directions and stuff. So hopefully that will all be unpacking itself and I can show you some more of that stuff. But my main thing for sharing that with you is you've all got to realise that you're amazing. There's only one of you. Share your quirks, share your those little things that make you smile. See if there's other people out there who would smile at the same things you do. And maybe they won't, but maybe they'll find it really interesting. Maybe you'll spark something in someone and give them some ideas. And I hope that I've done that this evening via this live. But my main thing is, remember, you're all amazing, beautiful, unique, fantastic people. And don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Okay, everybody, take care. Bye.